Duets. Oftentimes what will happen is you'll have two gigantic artists join up for an awesome duet, and it ends up either on one artist or the other, or sometimes even soundtracks. And either way, they end up being huge hits. However, today, Lauren from the Beard Owl podcast is going to stop by and share 5 awesome duets that maybe you're not all that familiar with, coming right up. Hey y'all, it is Russ and Lauren from the Infectious Groove music channel here on YouTube, and today we're talking about duets, but this is not going to be Almost Paradise and all those duets that you know that are awesome. Yeah. But this is going to be 5 that either you haven't heard or you probably haven't heard in a long time that are awesome. And actually, there's definitely at least one on here that I think people haven't heard in forever and need to be reminded of. Yeah. So take it away. What kind of duets are you sharing today?
Sure. So Stevie Nicks did a lot of duets, and a lot of them were on her albums, but this one wasn't. This is Insider. It's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with Stevie Nicks. Mm-hmm. And the reason I wanted to put this one on here, because it's different than a lot of duets. It's not like 2 separate parts. Mm-hmm. She's just singing harmony with him the whole time. Cool. And lyrically, it's like he's kind of, lamenting the end of a relationship, and the fact that she's singing it along with him, it's like they're both having the same thought at the same time instead of the back and forth.
That's cool. And also what's cool about this one is if you were going to say duets and then go Stevie Nicks, and people go, oh, and Tom Petty, you go, yeah. And then, but this is one you haven't heard. Most people would be like, no, I've heard Stop Dragging My Heart Around, you know? So that's a great one from Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty that everybody needs to check out. What's next?
This next one is one you actually brought to my attention, and I think it's really cool. It's What Have I Done to Deserve This by the Pet Shop Boys and Dusty Springfield.
And the Queen of Memphis, Dusty Springfield. Isn't this just a great duet? Cool. Yeah. And again, we always say in these videos, like, we don't insult hits or anything, like just, like the Pet Shop Boys are most known for West End Girls. Mm-hmm. Great song. However, when you take what they do right on West End Girls and then add Dusty Springfield's amazing and still at the time sultry voice to this song, it's so good.
It's so cool, and thank you for bringing it to my attention.
I'm excited, and that I brought it to your attention, and now you to everyone else's attention. So far, 2 completely different types of songs. What else do we got?
Now for something completely different than those 2. It's Could I Have This Kiss Forever by Whitney Houston and Enrique Iglesias. It is very much a product of its time, late 90s, early 2000s. Right. But it's so cool. She starts singing in Spanish, and it reminds you that Whitney could still do Whitney things even then. Right. Oh, yeah, for sure. And that's like I say about Dusty. Like, later in the career, it's like, oh, I wonder if this will sound good. And yeah. Whitney, one thing that never left Whitney was the voice. Right. The entire time. And like you say, even with something like this, I feel like it might feel like a throwback as soon as someone puts it on, but it's a throwback in the best possible way. For sure. Yeah. So Whitney and Enrique, and that appears only on his record probably. It might only on his. It was on like a compilation of hers later on. But Here Now Today was streaming. Just look it up. If you look up Whitney and Enrique, you're going to find it. You will. Right on. What else do we got? I have the theme from the Bond movie, Quantum of Solace, Another Way to Die, Alicia Keys and Jack White. What's so cool about this is you don't get much more different than Alicia Keys and Jack White in a lot of ways. Right. But when you listen to this song, it is very clearly 3 things. It is very clearly a Jack White song. It is very clearly an Alicia Keys song. And it is very clearly a Bond theme. Right. Like you hear that and you go, oh, this is a Bond theme. Right. And I would argue, and hopefully no one gets mad over this, that a lot of the Bond themes in the past 15, 20 years just come and go. They don't. And this is one that I think people know, but maybe haven't listened to in quite a while. And with the exception of Skyfall, I feel like maybe there hasn't been a good Bond theme that really stuck around. Yeah, we haven't had a gold finger in quite a while. Or Live and Let Die. Right. Yeah. And I think this absolutely qualifies. For sure. And like you said, it's 3 very distinct things all happening at the same time. Yeah. All right, cool. Take us home. Now, this is the one
spoiler alert, that when I looked at your list, I was like, man, that was huge when it came out.
Right.
But I bet people haven't listened to this in a really long time.
Yeah, it's When the Stars Go Blue, a duet between the Corrs and Bono. And it was just on their VH1 Presents record.
Yep.
But man, like, it's really cool. I think it was just a Corrs song to begin with that they did without him. But Bono just adds a whole like layer of flavor to the song that I feel like it really needed.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I know you said, you didn't say it in a derogatory way, but earlier, like, oh, this is a throwback to the 90s. That era, like the mid to late 90s and even into the mid 2000s, we had a lot more of that collaborative efforts where artists would appreciate what each other were doing and add layers to it. And I think this definitely qualifies for that in every way. So that's what Lauren did. She stopped by and shared 5 duets that you may not have heard in a long time or not at all. So let us know what you think of her picks. We always love the comment section. Let us know, even if it's, you know, like I say, even if it's almost paradise. Leave a comment. Let us know what some of your favorite duets are. And as we always say in these videos, thank you so much for watching.